Welcome to Managing Family Accounts, Module 5, Payments and Banking. At the end of the session, participants will be able to have an understanding of the payments process and have an understanding of the banking process. The payments and banking process applies to 4 areas. It is important to note that Nido's banking system integrates with Kidsoft is called Numero Pro for Families Direct Debit Facilities. We will now take you through the process of taking payments and banking. The first stage in payments and banking is to upload a DDR form. A DDR form is a direct debit request form. This form is where families request their fees to be automatically taken out of their selected bank account. The DDR form is accessed within Kidsoft. It is provided to the family at enrolment and should be included in their enrolment pack. The form can be completed by the family before the payments schedule is set up. In the event a family pays their account via their credit card, a fee will be applied. Nido will pay the account fee charged from Numero Pro. Further instruction on this area can be found in your People Manager's Manual. We will now take you through the process of uploading a DDR form.
Soft help video on how to upload Debit Pro forms or direct debit forms. This video is targeted at the customers that use Debit Pro, Numero Pro's payment gateway. So once you've signed up for Debit Pro, the Kidsoft Help Desk team would have sent you a DDR form. That DDR form is to be given to your guardians. Once that's completed, in order to start the direct debit process, you need to upload the DDR form into the Kidsoft system. So once you've scanned that document in to your computer, go to the relevant guardian, so using the universal search bar, select the guardian, click on Payments. In the payment options, click on Details. Click here to upload a DDR for a new payment detail, and then go and find the DDR form in where you've saved it. So open that file. Once that saves, you can see now that we've got an unknown type of form. It's not activated yet. You can click on it to view it, and that'll show you the form. And then you can go back to the guardian's details and see that there. You may find that you have multiple DDR forms filled in because there may be changes of bank account details and so forth. Each time you have a change of details, you must have the guardian complete a new form, and that must be loaded in. So once that form's loaded in, the Kidsoft Help Desk team will now have to activate that form. So we will validate that the form is accurate, all the details match, and we will enter in the details of the bank account, and you will receive an alert on your front screen. Alerts, one important alert. If you click on that alert, that will take you to the alerts page. So it's letting you know that today at 10:10, a payment detail DDR was uploaded for Elizabeth Smith. So you can acknowledge that alert because you've read that now, and that's fine. So then you would be able to go back to the guardian's details, go to payments, click on details, and see now that the DDR form has a BSB and an account number. It's a direct debit and it's activated. So once that's completed, you can now proceed to setting up a payment schedule for the guardian. Please watch the following video on how to set up schedules in Kidsoft. We hope you've found this video helpful. Thank you.
The second stage is to create a family payment schedule. Creating a payment schedule for families is for their payments to be deducted weekly every Monday. This makes the banking process easier. We will now take you through the process on creating a payment schedule.
Welcome to Kidsoft Help video on how to add and edit payment schedules in Kidsoft. So for customers that are using Debit Pro, please ensure that you've watched the DDR uploading form video. Once you've uploaded your DDR forms, you can then create your payment schedules. So go to the guardian that you wish to start a payment schedule for, click on Payments. You click on the details, you can see that the DDR form has been uploaded there and it is active. So now I can click on schedule and create a new payment schedule. So click on that green field. In the edit payment schedule box, I'm able to go through and select the enrolment. So if this guardian had 2 or 3 siblings, you could select the individual sibling, alternatively select all active enrolments, and that will pick up all the enrolments that that guardian is attached to. Select the correct payment details. So in the event that there are 2 or 3 different DDR forms, ensure that you select the correct one. In the type, you can either select fixed or variable. Fixed will ensure that the payment schedule will only take out the fixed amount that you enter in this payment schedule field. So if I wanted for only $80 to be taken out and the frequency was going to be weekly, then the system will not take any more than $80. If you change it to variable, again, you need to enter in a maximum amount. So the Guardian's gap fee might be on a regular occasion $60 a week. If in the event that their CCB details change or they take another booking on, you can enter in a maximum amount to ensure that that covers that. So variable is used frequently for guardians that have their accounts up to date, and it can ensure that if there's any changes to their details, it will pick up the maximum amount. So if you're going to select fixed, again, select the frequency, the fixed amount, so it will only take $80 every week. The start date, you'll notice that I'm not able to select today. That's because the payment schedule has already run for today, early this morning, so you need to select the next day. So starting the 4th of December. The end date, enter in the end date for the enrolment or the end date for the schedule. So if this child is only going to be at the service for 2 weeks, you can enter in that end date. Or if it's a one-off payment or they wish to use their bank account to pay for 2 or 3 weeks because their EFTPOS card isn't working anymore, then you can select that correct end date. The next billing date will show you that that's going to be the next date of the billing. So the 4th of December, the payment schedule will run automatically in Kidsoft. The payments in advance section is a global setting in Kidsoft where you're able to set for families and guardians to display however many weeks in advance as per your centre fee policy. So if you have gone into that setting and you have indicated that families reports are to show 2 or 3 weeks in advance, then that will apply here, or you can override that. So you can go in and enter 1, and that will ensure that it's actually going to charge that family their weekly fee fixed amount plus another week's in advance. But if you have that setting enabled, you will leave that blank. Once that's completed, you can press save. So you can see now I have a payment schedule here for Samantha Smith, the guardian Elizabeth Smith. It's going to start on the 4th of December. It's a weekly payment schedule, the end date, the start date, the maximum amount. It's not overlapping, so if I had other payment schedules set up there, so if there were 2 or 3 siblings, each children would show there and it would indicate to me whether the payment schedule was overlapping. The payment schedule is active, and I can delete the payment schedule if I wish. So if the family is no longer attending the service, I can click on where it says active, change that, and press save. You can see now that the payment schedule that was there is now greyed out. It's not active anymore, so no more payments are going to be taken out. If I needed to change that and start that again or make it active because I made an error, I can do so accordingly. You can go in and add other payment schedules, so if they wish for it to be taken out of a different bank account, or there's another enrolment that needs to be attached to it, or they want to do a one-off, then you can go in and create the payment schedule and enter the details accordingly. You're able to view the Debit Pro detail in more information here in Service Provider. So by clicking on Payments, if you have access to this, you can go in here and you can check the status of the Debit Pro. So what's sitting at processing, failed, processed, deleted, the type, the Debit Pro reference, and the start date and end date. So that will give you a consolidated view of the funds that you are looking to see be processed, and depending on the status that you've selected there, the detail will appear down the bottom. You can also look, it notifies to me that they're a little bit less in their bank account this week, could we just take a little bit less than what the schedule is? Then I can change that. That will change that just for that one schedule, and then it will go back to the $80 as per normal. So again, if I needed to change this, I could do so accordingly by clicking and marking yes. So that's a quick way that you can go in and edit the schedules for all of the guardians or individual guardians. That concludes the payment schedule video. If you need any further assistance in regards to Debit Pro, please don't hesitate to contact the help desk team and the Debit Pro staff will get back to you.
The third stage of payments and banking is to create a banking summary. Banking can take place every day and is easier to manage that way rather than waiting until the end of the week. We will now take you through the process of creating a banking summary.
Welcome to Kidsoft Help video on how to enter payments. There are two ways that you can enter a payment in for a guardian in Kidsoft. The first way is that you can enter in the payment directly on the Guardian's details page. So using the universal search bar on the right hand side, enter in the name of the guardian. Click on the guardian's name as it appears in the universal search bar. Click on the Payments tab. And you can see there's two options. You can make a payment credit or a payment debit. So a payment credit would be when you are wanting to apply a credit to the account. So when the guardian actually comes in to physically pay the account, you would use a payment debit if you're wishing to charge the account. So in the situation where you may want to charge a hat fee or a show or something like that, you're able to apply a payment debit. So if I go to apply payment credit, I can go down here and I can enter in the payment for the guardian. So you can see this guardian's got 2 enrolments. So if I'm only wanting to apply $100 to the account for Penny Smith, I can type in the amount, select the payment type, the payment reason, put a description in there, and then I can click Make Credit Payment. So it's asking me, do I wish to confirm that I want to apply a credit of $100, and press Yes. Once that payment is applied, it will take you back to the payment credit field. So if I was going to do a payment debit, the same rule will apply. I could enter in the payment amount and then I could choose the specific details about the payment. To view the payment that's been entered, you can click on Statement. So you can see here, there's the entry that I've made today, pay date the 22nd of January, $100. If I made an error, I could delete that payment by clicking on the cross button there. That would delete the payment and then you could go and reapply it. If you wish to print a receipt, you can click on Receipt and that'll bring up the payment receipt so that you can print it out for the guardian right there and then. The other way to enter payments is through the List Guardians. So if you go to the Families menu, click on List Guardians. On the left-hand side of the name, you can see 2 icons, the plus and the negative. So the payment credit and the payment debit. So if I click on the plus button, it brings up a similar field to which we've seen before. I can go and type in, so if this time I'm wanting to apply $200 to Ben Smith's account, I can do that. It'll show the balance before the payment and the balance after the payment. And then you can fill in the details. So once you do that, confirm again. That'll take you back to the credit payment field. You can close that and then go and make payments for other guardians. You would have noted on the payment credit field when I bring that up, I'm able to actually choose Smart Allocate and Transfer Funds. These are 2 new features for Kidsoft in regards to applying payments. There will be a video that will go through those 2 options there, so feel free to watch those videos for more information. That concludes entering payments into Kidsoft. We hope you've found this helpful. Thank you.
The final stage of payments and banking is family transfers. There may be a time where you need to transfer funds from 2 parent accounts, for example from mum's account to dad's account, or the other way around. To show this in detail, we will now take you through this video process. Please refer to the People Manager's Manual for further instruction.
Welcome to the Kidsoft Help video on payment features. Please ensure that you've watched the video on how to enter payments into Kidsoft prior to watching this video. To utilise the payment features option, go to the Guardian's Details page, click on Payments. You'll note on the payment credit page there is now a Smart Allocate button and a Transfer Funds feature. The Smart Allocate feature is for a situation where a guardian has more than one enrolment. So you can see here Elizabeth Smith has 2 children, Penny and Ben. If the guardian came in and gave you a total amount of $200, for instance, you could type in $200, press OK, and you'll notice that the system will automatically Smart Allocate $100 for each enrolment. You could then select the payment type, payment reason, and then make credit payment. Confirm that you wish to apply $200, and that will apply the $200 evenly across the 2 enrolments. If $200 was provided and you wish to actually split that differently, manually yourself, then you can do so by updating the fields. Otherwise, you can leave it at $200, and as shown before, it'll split that evenly and Smart Allocate those funds for you. To utilise the Transfer Funds feature, this would be primarily for situations where you have enrolments for families that have left the service. So if there's multiple siblings and one is in credit or one is in debit and you wish to transfer the funds over, then you can do so by using the Transfer Funds feature. So tick the Transfer Funds box. You're going to transfer the funds from the guardian. So you can actually click on that drop-down box and it will show other guardians that are attached to those children. So if you have the mother and father in this situation, you're able to transfer the funds between the guardians for the enrolment. So I'll keep it at Elizabeth Smith. So both of these families are in credit, or enrolments are in credit, excuse me. So you can do, I'm going to transfer funds from Penny's enrolment, and I'm going to put them onto Ben. So I'm going to take the $150 that Penny had in credit and I'm going to put it onto Ben's enrolment. So you can see now Penny's enrolment is 0 and Ben's balance is now $300. By default, the system will apply a payment type as an adjustment. This cannot be changed. When you're finished, you can click Make Transfer. What that will do now is it will take that fund out of Penny's enrolment and it'll put it onto Ben. So if Penny had left the service and you've deactivated her now, she will not show up on the customer account statements anymore. So that's a quick way that you can transfer funds between the accounts. That concludes our payment features video. We hope you've found this helpful. Thank you.
As part of our approach to support users in this process, a knowledge assessment will be sent to you, asking you a series of questions to check your knowledge on this module. You've now completed this module. For further questions, please contact your Executive Centre Manager or the Operations Manager.